Have you ever noticed how your body is in the room, but your mind is already tomorrow? You are smiling at someone, nodding at the right moments, and yet your attention is somewhere else. You replay a scene from years ago. You rehearse a conversation that has not happened. You scroll without feeling anything. And when a good moment finally arrives, you miss it. Then you miss yourself for missing it. Here is the uncomfortable truth. Struggling to be present is not laziness. It is not a character flaw. It is often a nervous system habit, a survival skill that stayed too long. And the more you judge yourself for it, the more your mind runs away, because shame is fuel for escape. Maybe you have had that moment at a party where everyone is laughing and you feel your smile freeze. You are there, but you are tracking every tone shift, every glance. Or you are driving and suddenly realize you do not remember the last 5 minutes of road. Nothing dramatic happened. Your mind just left. That is dissociation on a spectrum, a quiet exit, a protective autopilot. It can happen at work, in love, or alone. So let us decode it. Not like a textbook, like a mirror. 1. Your brain is addicted to prediction. The human mind is a forecasting machine. It tries to reduce uncertainty by simulating the future. That is useful when there is real danger. But modern danger is rarely a tiger. It is an email, a deadline, a vague feeling that you are behind. So your brain keeps scanning, and scanning feels like control. Planning feels like safety. Worry feels like preparation. And suddenly, you cannot sit with a simple moment without turning it into a problem to solve. This connects to a bias called negativity bias. Your brain notices what could go wrong more than what is going right, because missing a threat used to be costly. So even during calm moments, your attention drifts to risk. You are at dinner, but your mind is calculating bills. You are on vacation, but your mind is checking work. You are with someone you love, but your mind is looking for the next sign that love might disappear. Presence requires surrender, and prediction is the opposite of surrender. If you relate to this, notice what you do right before you drift. Do you tighten your jaw? Do you hold your breath? Do you reach for your phone like a life raft? That is not random. That is a cue. Your body is whispering, something feels unsafe, even if nothing is happening. 2. You learn to leave the moment to avoid feelings. Some people struggle to be present because the present is loud. The past has pain. The future has pressure. But the present has emotions you cannot distract from. Loneliness, anger, grief, even joy. Because joy can feel risky when you have been disappointed before. This is emotional avoidance. It can look like productivity. It can look like overthinking. It can look like being the friend who is always busy. But under it is a simple pattern. When feelings rise, your mind exits. If you grew up in a home where emotions were punished, mocked, or ignored, you may have built a skill. Disconnect fast. You learned that being too present meant being too vulnerable. So you became good at leaving your own body. You stayed polite, you stayed functional, you stayed composed, and you paid with aliveness. This is where emotional intelligence matters. Not the trendy kind. The real kind. The ability to name what you feel without drowning in it. Presence is easier when your emotions have language. When you can say, I feel tense, instead of turning that tension into 100 future scenarios, try this. When you notice your mind drifting, ask, what feeling am I trying not to feel right now? Do not answer with a story. Answer with a word. Worried, sad, exposed, restless. Then breathe like you mean it. One slow inhale, one slow exhale. You are not fixing anything. You are staying. 3. Your attention has been trained to fracture. If you spend your days switching between tabs, messages, videos, and noise, your brain adapts. It becomes efficient at partial attention. It becomes less comfortable with one single focus. That is not a moral failure. That is neuroplasticity. Your brain becomes what you practice. And the platforms you use are built for this. Infinite scroll, notifications, small hits of novelty. Dopamine is not the villain, but it is the mechanism. Novelty gives a quick reward. Your brain learns new thing equals relief. So stillness starts to feel boring. Silence starts to feel itchy. A simple conversation feels too slow. Your mind reaches for stimulation the way a thirsty person reaches for water. That is why some people cannot watch a movie without checking their phone. Not because they do not care, because their attention system is overtrained for speed and undertrained for depth. This connects to something called attentional residue. When you switch tasks, part of your mind stays stuck on the last task. So you never fully arrive at the next one. You are everywhere and nowhere. A small reset can change this. Create one daily moment of single task living. One cup of tea with no screen. One shower where you actually feel the water. One walk where you look at the sky like you have never seen it. It sounds simple. It is. Simple is not easy when your brain has been rewired. 4. You are stuck in time because of unresolved loops. Have you ever had a day where one memory hijacks everything? One embarrassing moment? One regret? One sentence someone said? Your mind keeps returning to it like a tooth you cannot stop touching. That is not weakness. That is your brain trying to complete an emotional loop. Many people who struggle with presence have unfinished business inside. Not necessarily trauma with a capital T. Sometimes it is 1,000 small moments where you did not get to speak, grieve, or be seen. Your brain replays because it is searching for a different ending, a better line, a stronger version of you, a version that did not get hurt. This is close to rumination. And rumination often shows up when you feel powerless. If you cannot change the past, your mind tries to control it by repeating it. But repetition is not resolution. Here is a shift. Instead of asking, "Why do I keep thinking about this?" ask, "What is this memory protecting?" Maybe it is protecting you from rejection. Maybe it is protecting you from risk. Maybe it is reminding you, never be that exposed again. When you see the function, you can soften the grip. A grounded trick is sensory anchoring. Name 5 things you can see, 4 things you can feel, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, 1 thing you can taste. You are telling your brain, we are here, not there, here. 5. You confuse presence with perfection. This one is sneaky. Some people think being present means feeling calm all the time. It does not. Presence is not a spa. Presence is contact. Sometimes contact is messy. If you have high standards, you may live in evaluation mode. You judge the moment while it is happening. Was I funny enough? Did I say the right thing? Do they like me? Am I wasting time? That inner commentary steals your attention. You are watching yourself instead of living. This links to social comparison theory too. When you measure your life against other people's highlights, your mind gets pulled into a constant upgrade loop. You cannot enjoy what you have because you are scanning for what you lack. The antidote is not forcing gratitude. The antidote is permission. Permission to be imperfect in the moment. Permission to have a mind that wanders and gently return it. That is literally what mindfulness is. Not emptying your mind, not being a monk, just noticing and returning again and again without cruelty. So what do you do with all this? Start small. You do not need a new personality. You need new reps. When you wake up, do not grab your phone first. Put one hand on your chest. Feel your heartbeat. Let it remind you, you are alive right now. When you eat, take the first 3 bites slowly. Taste them. Let your brain relearn depth. When you talk to someone, look at their face and notice one detail. Their eyebrows, their laugh, their pause. That is presence. When anxiety shows up, do not sprint into the future. Bring it into your body. Where do you feel it? Chest, throat, stomach. Breathe there. And if you slip, which you will, do not shame yourself. Shame is the quickest way back to leaving. Treat your attention like a puppy. It will run. You guide it back. Patiently. Repeatedly. Here is the takeaway. People who struggle to be present are often people who have carried too much for too long. Their mind learned to time travel to survive, but you are allowed to come home, not all at once, one moment at a time. If this felt like it was describing you, keep it close. Share it with someone who lives in their head. And if you want more psychology that feels like a mirror, subscribe and come back. Not because you need fixing, because you deserve understanding, and you deserve your life while it is happening.